off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, and more. Why so many places? I want to balance out all the bad news out there that you can get readily. That's why we don't talk about anything that's going on in the headlines, because y'all know you can get that bad news anywhere else you tune in. Instead, I want to bring you some good news that doesn't let you go, what is wrong with people? And is the world going to HE double hockey stick in a handbasket? Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have topics and guests for the last 654 consecutive weeks. And who's counting? This is show number, podcast number 1268, I believe. Yeah, 68. And I'm so delighted. You can tell in studio today, we have my favorite Wednesday co-host. She's also a friend, which fits right into the topic at hand. Her name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate. She's a U.S. Navy veteran, a published author, a retired OBGyn from Compton, California. She's a playwright, singer, poet, songwriter, and more. She's a published author of several books that you can see behind her, including an important children's book called Bad Touching and her newest, Money Matters. I am, well, those of you don't know, I don't have an MD. I have a PhD. She's the MD. I'm the PhD. It just stands for piled higher and deeper. It's in organizational psychology, which just means human dynamics at work. And I get to talk about power and politics, mixed communication, and conflict in organizations. That's what I do for one of my 8 jobs. But as I am just like my co-host, I do not want to die wondering. That's my motto. So I also am a filmmaker, a motivational speaker, happiness coach, and Tai Chi teacher, among other things. And we're just so delighted that you're here today with us. Welcome to the show. And welcome, Dr. Tiffanie Tate. I forgot.
Always a pleasure to be here. Always.
Forgot where I was for a second there. And I'm so glad we've got the Cashew Gallery in force. It's Z Queen. She's the captain of our Cashew Gallery today. She will make sure that we see any questions or comments that are there and take care of you in the chat. If you're driving right now, listening to the AM, FM side, please do not chat with us. Wait till you get somewhere safe so you can absolutely participate with us. And we can actually put your comments and questions up on the screen. For those of you who are watching and listening, always available on my YouTube TV channel. And what do we do at the top of every show, Dr. Tiffanie?
We say what we are thankful for.
Yes, it's called Breakfast with my co-host and I, taking a bite of our gratitude sandwich. Top of the bun, things we're grateful for outside of ourselves. Bottom of the bun, things that we're grateful for inside of ourselves, otherwise known as appreciation. Why don't you start us off, Dr. Tiffanie?
I am grateful for Renee at Kaiser Permanente because I got my flu shot yesterday, and you get your flu shot too. So kudos to Renee at Kaiser, and thank you very much for helping me stay healthy.
Oh, that's awesome. I am grateful that this morning, I don't know if you saw it. I think I forgot to tag you, but my first swim after 2.5, maybe 3 months, 2 torn rotator cuffs. I do everything like, not one, but 2. And so I had to stay off of swimming for longer than I wanted to. But this morning, I actually got in there. I completed it. Hopefully, I did not overdo it. I'm actually I look young, I feel young, but my body's like, whoa, Nelly. So I've done a bunch of things. I've changed my microphone so it's not, in my arms are ergonomically. I built my own table yesterday. Who needs a man? Another story. But I totally am grateful that I'm learning how to take care of my body.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's always good to take care of yourself, and you should take care of you too. And I am grateful that my dog is finally doing well, post his arthritis shots in his little body, and he is now running around because he is 15 years young.
Oh, what's his name again?
Mickey Jack, a combination between Mickey Mouse and Michael Jackson. Mhm.
Love it. Wouldn't expect anything otherwise, Dr. Tiffanie. I am grateful that Saban Theater is one of my show sponsors. You must go check out their list of fascinating talent. I am going to see John Cleese in not concert. I don't know what, in his talk. I actually shared a stage with him in Philadelphia many, many years ago. I won't say how many. So it'll be fun to see him again. And then finally, I'm grateful for the fact that I'm going with date number 4. First date number 4. Can you freaking believe it? It's shocked. I am like shocked, but yeah, it's I'm still dating other people because it takes time to get to know, right? So I'm still swiper, no swiping, but it's been very fun to hang out with him. And of course, you know me, I went to Chuck E. Cheese, the older one, Dave and Buster's. And Dr. Tiffanie, there were like over 1,200 views of my Dave and Buster's tape on my social. I couldn't believe it. I'm grateful that I could film me winning the driving, not once, but twice. So go figure. All right. I'm done with gratitude. I did so many. Go ahead. It's all yours.
I am grateful for the love of family and the support of friends throughout this whole special time. And I am just grateful for having breath in my body and being able to be blessed with another day of living.
Yay. And let's go to the bottom of the bun. Now, this is something that we would like you to do at the end of the day before you go to bed. Instead of who done me wrong or what I didn't get done or, what's wrong with me, I want you to bring forth into your conscious mind before you go to sleep, which will help you sleep, those things that are good about you. It is my BS belief system that self-care is the foundation of good mental health. So that's why we do that. So, Dr. Tiffanie, what do you like about yourself?
I like my brain because it is very creative and it is very intuitive. And I like the way I process things.
I like the way that I can walk into a room that I've never been in or with people I've never been with and take a breath and feel like I belong in the room. So slowly but surely, that voice that is afraid of how I come across or what people are thinking of me, I call it going to MSU University, making shiitake up about what they're thinking. That's slowly going away, being replaced by MFU. which is making fertilizer up or making flowers up, so that I'm looking at, I can't wait to see what beautiful things happen in this new situation that I'm in. I appreciate that about myself.
That's really beautiful. And I'm going to piggyback on that because a lot of times we can feel we can have questions about our confidence. And I like my self-confidence because you can have this inferiority complex in spite of the fact that we're both doctors. And we had that session where we talked about imposter syndrome. And it doesn't matter how many accomplishments you have, you can always question yourself. And so I like my self-confidence.
Beautiful. It reminds me of that. I love this expression, egomaniacs with an inferiority complex. And it just shows you that your critic is driving your life car. And when I do happiness coaching, that's the 100% of the time, the balance center you is not driving your life car. And if you are criticizing yourself so much, that means your critic is driving your life car. So put her in the passenger seat, folks. Let's see. I think that's good. We want to get to the topic today. So thank you for joining us for breakfast. I hope that you join us or me every weekday morning for the next 28 consecutive days. That will create a good life habit, this hashtag Blisscipline, that will help you navigate and not look for likes in all the wrong places, but really like yourself. Because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to approve of you? Thank you for joining us for breakfast. And now the topic of the day. I don't have a drum roll, but I do have something new that I won at Dave & Buster's. It says everything is awesome. So this is now the ring in of the topic of the day.
Awesome.
Exactly. Dr. Tiffanie, what's the topic of the day?
Friends and friendship. And I know you like to ask me, why did I pick this topic? I thought it was very pertinent for a multitude of reasons. So I'm going to narrow down the top 3 reasons. I have had to stand in the gap for quite a few friends in light of the events over the past week. That's number 1. And I have had to be there for quite a few friends who have had issues on their jobs. And number 3, in light of the events that have happened and the holidays are coming up, I thought it was important to realize the bonds of friendship go beyond what's going on politically, socially, and we need to remember who we are as individuals, and that goes beyond what's going on in the world. And we have to remember that. And I thought,
I could not have said that better. I just wanted to pause and just acknowledge great choice of topic. And if you did not hear that, let me just highlight what she just said, that friendship and relationships that you care about transcend are way beyond what's going on politically. Please do not forget that. I think we're going to start a movement that's not red or blue. That is, we can't do rainbow. That's already taken, but we'll think of it.
People-centered.
People-centered. Yeah, I was thinking of a color, but
people-centered.
People-centered. Yeah, I want to call it humankind, emphasis on the kind-centered.
Yeah,
so.
kindness.
Yeah, the kindness project. They already have that. Anyways, we'll figure it out. I'm sure we'll come up with something. So you have a quiz, and she promises me this time that it is a good quiz because I give her a hard time.
a great quiz. I took it myself.
So let me put the quiz destination. So if you're not driving, you can go to the chat and actually take it yourself. And Z, you can be the administrator of this. It's Jenny Allen. Thank you very much, Jenny Allen, for your quiz. So I usually take it, and then Dr. Tiffanie says whether she agrees or disagrees, and probably 80% of the time we do the same, but let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. Ready to see what kind or what type of friend you are. Are you seeing this on this video? Okay, perfect. So first up, how would your friends describe me? As the organized one who takes care of details, as the adventure-loving friend who loves spontaneity. I don't know. I'm both organized and adventure-loving, as the loyal friend who's always there to support them, as a truth teller who pushes them to be their best, as a constant source of encouragement, as the wise advisor. I would probably see this one, the wise advisor. What about you?
I think I am going to be
support. Yeah, I would say. Right? Am I right?
Yep.
Okay. If I had 3 hours of downtime, what would I do? Hobby that helps you relax. Face-to-face time. We need to chat, organize your calendar, plan your get-togethers, listen to or record a podcast, listen to a podcast, or read a thought-provoking book. Alone time, prayer, reflection, seeking spiritual nourishments, watching funny videos, explore a new hobby. I thought that said booty, or make a fun playlist. Anything that will make someone laugh. Ooh, I was going to definitely say the first one until I saw the last one. So I think I'll go with the first one. Yep, what about you? You did the first one? Yes?
Me time. Yes, I would take the me.
Yeah. Okay. We had that in common. Being a good friend means A, you show up in a big or small moment when your friend needs someone by their side. Two, you get to encourage a friend. You believe in people even when they have trouble believing in themselves. That's my work. You're making memories together that are filled with joy and laughter. Your friend feels safe enough to share what's really going on. You listen well and never see them as a burden. There better be all of the above in this one. You are able to set up consistent face-to-face time with your people, helping a friend reach a goal for themselves. You know they are capable. You love to see them grow and thrive. Okay, you go first this time.
I think I went with the first one.
The first one? Mm-hmm. I'm going to go with the third one. Making memories together. Laughter's my favorite sound in the world. A friend calls and wants to come over in 5 minutes. What is your response? A, you're ready to listen. Glad they feel they can trust you with anything. 2, you freak out for a minute. What is the state of my house? But then quickly do the dishes and get a snack you know they like. Definitely not. No need to ready yourself for your house. It's clear that your friend needs you, so you prepare yourself to focus on them. You're ready with a hug. You want them to know you'll always be available when they need a pep talk. Your dream come true. You turn on some fun music and order takeout. You know if they're dropping by with little notes that something is up, and you're ready to ask our hard questions to uncover really what's going on. That would be mine. Which one's yours?
That was mine.
Oh, wow. We agreed on that one. Okay. Your friend just accomplished something big. How do you respond? With a surprise visit, confetti cannon in hand. 2, you help them dream up their next big goal. C, you plan a celebratory dinner with all their closest people. And you make sure your friend pauses to fully enjoy this moment. That's me. So far, you've been with them every step of the way. So, of course, you're right there to celebrate with cheers and high fives. You call out amazing qualities you see in them that, help them reach this goal. What do you?
Oh, we're going to high five. We're going to party. I've been there all the way.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm a big one on just receive it, just feel it, close your eyes, and just revel and be in the moment with this success. So that's me. Your friend is unexpectedly fired from their job. What do? Bring humor and playfulness into the situation, maybe even make them laugh, organize and mobilize people to help out with practice needs. Simply listen. They're looking for advice, came to you for your wisdom. Remind them who they are and speak hope to their situation. Help rewrite their resume. Check all the local job listings. Take updated headshots. Ask questions. You want them to grow from this experience and consider other career paths they might be better suited for. There's a number of these. Which one did you do?
I sit them down and help counsel them and give them hope.
Yeah, I would do that too. That is the one that best describes it. Why don't you read these options?
It has to be a
Can
little
you
bit.
see it?
Yeah, it has to make it a little bit bigger for me to see it.
Okay. I don't want
There we go.
just me talking here.
It's almost the weekend and you don't have plans. You don't have plans. I made plans weeks ago and everyone is coming. No plans means more opportunities for fun, spontaneous hangouts. See, your friend calls you last minute to help you set up for their kid's birthday party. You're in and spend all day setting up tables. You might stay in, but you're up for whatever your friend might want to do. Or you remind a friend who had said they want to hang out with you and that you're ready. Or you get a call from a friend who just needs you to sit with them. And even though it's Friday night, you're not annoyed. I think I picked, you might stay in, but you're up for whatever your friend might want to do.
Is this the same friend that has a last minute help? Yeah, I think I would do this one actually, because I'm trying to learn how to ask for help. So I'm going to do that one. Okay. You and your friends are starting a book club together. What are you in charge of? What needs to be done now, whatever your friends you're in? Your goal is to make this the most memorable book club ever. You've got an icebreaker ready every week. You set up a shared calendar so everyone knows where you're meeting, blah, blah, blah. You're excited to research and pick out a book that will start conversations. This is another all and above here. You promised me this would be a good questionnaire.
I think it
You
is.
pray for people and collect prayer requests each week to know exactly what to pray for your friends. You love checking in with everyone through the week to see how life's going outside of the book club.
You would do all those things?
No, I wouldn't do the last one. I do not have time for that stuff.
See?
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So what am I I would this one. If I'm gonna do something, it better be the best. That competitive thing. So I'm gonna. Which one's yours?
Yeah, I would make the icebreaker every week. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Yeah. We're just like such recovering control freaks. Emphasis on control freak, not recovering. Okay, go ahead. You read.
What do you do when your friend is in the KCAA is blocking it?
I'm sorry. Fight with someone
else. Address the issue head on with honest answers. Stand up for your friend no matter what. Otherwise, counsel to help resolve the issue. Offer wise counsel to help resolve the issue. You'll make dinner and be over in 30 minutes. Answer the phone every time they call and listen. Use humor to diffuse tension and show them the silver lining. I would use humor to diffuse the tension and show them the silver lining.
Moi aussi. Moi aussi. In French, that is me as well. A potluck. I love potlucks. Actually, we're having a potluck in our building. And I emailed the building manager and said, if you say homemade food only and you get a prize for the best dish, I will come.
Oh, competitive a little bit, are we?
Not whether you win or lose, it's whether I win or lose. Your famous lasagna that you've been perfecting for years, a homemade pre-made deli tray so you could show up early and help set up, a handwritten thank you card plus cups, napkins, ice, and an appetite. whatever catches your eye at the local ethnic supermarket. You're in the mood to try something new. A well-researched charcuterie board with each cheese and meat labeled by location. An assortment of desserts because they're everyone's favorite. Well, what would you do?
Oh, I'm bringing my famous homemade lasagna that I've been perfecting for years.
Yeah, me too. Except mine's not lasagna. I have like a number of things that my dumplings, my Quincy Jones ribs, bless him, by the way, breath of peace and comfort to all who miss him in his family and friends. And did you know I interviewed him on the red carpet?
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that, but no, I have a turkey and spinach lasagna that's really good.
Oh, well, if I see you when we go to that concert, you better bring some. Although I have to attest, she is a fabulous cook. I had her cobbler. I tried to like sneak some home, but everybody finished it at your 50th.
I was very upset because lots of people wanted more. And when I went to the kitchen, they were like, oh, people didn't ask. And I talked to my relatives. They're like, no, we wanted it. They just didn't bring it out. So I was like, I probably needed better servers because they did not communicate it well. I think they wanted to take it home.
I think so, too, because I took 3.
And so I was like, why is there still so much cobbler left? And they were like, oh, people didn't ask for it. And people were like, no, we wanted it. I'm like, okay. They were shady with the cobbler. They were shady with the
Okay, last question. Go for it.
Okay. It's been a while since you have seen or heard from a friend. What do you do? 1, you're already on the way to their house with lunch. You know they must be busy. Text your friend about an upcoming event you know they would love. Ask her if they're free to join you. C, you call your friend to ask what's going on. You open up about your concern. Or immediately reach out and give specific dates and times to meet up. You take care of all the plans. Or reach out to offer a listening ear and a safe space for them to share what's going on. If you can scroll up a little bit so I can read the last one. And text your friend and let them know what they mean to you and that you miss them. I would do the last.
Wait. I'm going to add 2 more in case, So one of them is I don't worry about them because our friendship doesn't rely on constant contact. And then the last one is I unfriend them because if you can't take the time to connect with me, you're off my friend list.
Oh, no.
I'm not saying. I'm sorry, Z. I had to add that just for humor. But go ahead. Which of the ones that are there, which one would you do?
I would pick the last because if I'm concerned, I would send a text because I don't want to be imposing. I don't want to be obnoxious. And I would just text them and let them know, hey, I'm concerned. I'm there for you. I love you. And hit me up whenever you're able.
Yeah, I do that. I say, hey, it's been a bit. Just want to make sure all is well. And I do that every time tragedy happens, which is quite a bit. If you listen to the news, I don't, but when there's always someone losing a life somewhere, not losing it, but passing to the other side. And when that happens, my first thing is to tell those I love around me how much I love them. Mm-hmm. That's my discipline. All right. See my results. Yours are so close to mine. Check my inbox. All right. Here we go. Did you have yours already done that you want to show? Mm-hmm. Okay.
It said, you are the encourager. The encourager is the friend who believes in you. They see the good in you and call it out. It is easy for them to speak hope when you are discouraged. They see the best in life and people. This person oozes belief and support.
So I'm guessing that is probably what I got too. The email has not come in yet. Did I put the right email down? I don't know. I think I read this article, I think it was New York Times or Wall Street Journal, that email is finally reaching its capacity or something like that, that it's not as reliable. So we'll see. One more time. So in case yours is mine.
Okay. You are the encourager. The encourager is the friend who believes in you. They see the good in you and call it out. It is easy for them to speak hope when you are discouraged. They see the best in life and people. This person oozes belief and support.
Okay. That would be neat. I think honestly though, I hope mine's a little different because I would definitely see you as more of an encourager than me, because I people have said this, that I manage my time very well with the balance. Like I do not have the time to be like it's God or my UPS man, and then it's me, and then it's other people. And I think you are much better at being there for people than I am. So I would be interested to see if mine's different than that. I'm the encourager, not as much as you. How's that?
Well, it was interesting because when I picked this topic, I love to do definitions. And so
Yes.
I looked up to see what Oxford Dictionary describes as a friend. And a friend, according to Oxford Dictionary, is a person whom whom one knows and whom one has a bond of mutual affection, typically exclusive of sexual or family relations, which of course we talk about friends and friends with benefits and things like that, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about something more platonic. And it's interesting because when you look at Proverbs in the Bible, it's 17:17, it says a brother loves at all times. I'm sorry, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for times of adversity. And so you see in families, there's always conflict, but with friends, you shouldn't have much conflict. Friends are supposed to be your safety net, and you might get into minor rifts, but your friends are supposed to be a place where you go for love and support, even more so than your family, which I thought was interesting because that's even biblical. So I thought that was a funny point of perspective.
Yeah. I don't know if I truly that one part about conflict, but let me go to the cashew gallery here and welcome Just Shay. I don't think I've seen you before, so please put this as a bookmark. Would love to have you come to the show again, unless this is, well, she says, give me a sample of cobbler. Maybe she does know you. Z Queen got her cobbler. So we're back on cobbler, but we haven't taken a station ID, and we're going to need to break quickly for news, weather, traffic, and the sponsor of this show. So we'll be back in 2 and 2. I know Chuck Woolery used to say, we'll be back in 2 and 2, but I say peace in, peace out. I will be right back with Dr. Tiffanie on Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Be right back.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tiffanie Tate, author of Little Engine Mia Sings, author of Bad Coaching, author of Money Matters, and author of Poetry. All of these books can be purchased on Amazon as well as Barnes & Nobles. For the holiday season, you won't want to miss purchasing these books. Get them as soon as possible and make an adult or a child very happy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
Hello again. Feel free to go to my website, and purchase my books. www.drtiffanytate.com. Dr. Marissa, you're muted. And so
It's very difficult to mute me, by the way. I'm so sorry. I thought you were done when I went back out for but please do go to Dr. Tiffany's website. I'm going to bring that up right now because it is the holidays and this is the time for you to get meaningful gifts. I'm all about, it's great to buy things like clothes and all of that, but what is lasting is your children and their education. So if you know anyone who has kids, and it's a very beautiful way to teach, instead of lecturing them, you've got books that are interesting to help your kids with learning things that are so important. This is my favorite, Bad Touching. Kids don't know, unless we talk about it. And I know it's not easy to talk about things like this. I've heard people, oh, we don't want to put stuff like that in kids' heads. It's like, darling, between peers and bad people, it's necessary. And this is my second favorite, or equally favorite, because it's Little Engine Mia Sings. Mia is Dr. Tiffany's beautiful inside and out daughter who has a voice of an angel, just like her mom. So absolutely go to Dr. Tiffany Tate. You can get the books there, also on Amazon. There you go. There's the finish of the commercial. Hope that you get those books. I also have a children's book called Mommy, What Are Feelings? And I'm actually offering a free PDF download of that if you get on my email list. I'm about ready to send out my quarterly HAP e-zine. So if you just Google Dr. Marissa, use my assistant Google, or Asian Oprah, you'll find me. I'm getting ready to send that out today. All right. Now back to the topic of the day, which is
friends and friendship. Now, you know what I thought was interesting? A lot of times people talk about the 80-20 rule. And it's like the Pareto principle. And I kind of looked that up because you can apply that to your relationships and your friendships. And it says basically the 80-20 rule, and with respect to the, I looked it up to understand the history of it. And so in 1896, Vilfredo Pareto observed that 80% of the pea pod harvest from his garden came from 20% of his pea plants. Did you know that?
no.
Yeah. So I was like, pea plants. And he also witnessed that 20% of the people owned 80% of the land in Italy. But Pareto didn't coin the term the Pareto principle. The credit came from Dr. Joseph Juran, who was a management consultant. And so he studied the works of Vilfredo Pareto and applied this term to his field. And then he also noticed it in businesses. He noticed that 20% of their production mistakes cause 80% of their production defects. So he started applying this to different analysis. And he noticed this in everything. He noticed this in business, he noticed this in production, and he noticed this in all types of relationships. And so thus the 80-20 rule was applied throughout everything. And a lot of people use this all the time. And you see this in clubs, you see this throughout life. 80% of the people, in different things, 20% of the people do 100% of the work, while 80% of the people kind of sit aside and watch them. And so in real life, 80% of the value of your friendship come from 20% of your friends. And for example, you might have 10 casual friends, but only 2 to 3%, 2 to 3 people in your darkest hour. So you'll have a lot of your closest friends well, you won't have a lot of closest friends. So you really want to value your true friends and not neglect them. And so we really want to cultivate those closest to us and not really treat them poorly. So we really need to value our friendships.
So it's interesting. I actually have been using this rule without realizing it was a rule, because I say when I do relationship coaching to couples, particularly usually the women, not always, but oftentimes, that if you're happy with your partner 80% of the time, that's kind of like that's perfect, because you're not going to be happy 100% of the time with anything or anyone, but 80% is a pretty darn good percentage. And almost always my women clients will say, oh yeah, I love they are 80% fabulous. But then they spend the rest of the time complaining about that 20%, which is like missing the whole point. But that's I call it the 8-to-1 rule: 8 compliments before 1 criticism. But yeah, that's interesting. Thank you, Dr. Tiffanie. Any questions or comments? Always, we are available here to give. Everybody has a right to our opinion, but Just Shay, Z, and anyone, there's way more eyeballs than the two of you right now. So I just wanted to invite anyone who has any comments or opinions or questions in this area of friendship. But let me put the moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. I do want us to absolutely challenge ourselves to reconnect with those who we do not like because of the results of the election, whichever side you're on. I think that it is a crying shame that we've lost family member relationships and friendships, and I'm guilty as charged with throwing the baby out with the bathwater, throwing the friendship out with the politics, which is really not who we are. At the core of who we are, we all want the same thing. I just had Stephanie Powers from Heart to Heart. Do you remember? Or the girl from UNCLE? I had her on my Tuesday Talent series yesterday. And she said at the end exactly what I said at the beginning, which is, everybody wants to be loved, loving, and lovable. Everybody wants to be wanted and needed. Everybody wants to have great relationships with each other. Everybody wants children not to be starving. Everybody wants people to live, a happy life 80% of the time. Everybody wants to create solutions for things that are troubling us. It is just the human condition. None of us want to kill other people, really. None of us want kids to die in schools from gun violence. So none of us want people homeless on the street. So there's so many things we have in common. And if it has to be a no talk zone, so be it. You can have a relationship with people without having to talk about the orange man or anything that is out there that you don't like. All of this stuff, conjecture, who's going to be in charge, what's going to go on, that's 24/7 on the news right now. We don't talk about that because it doesn't matter to you and your life day to day. That the most important thing in your life is how you see yourself and how you treat others and the relationships you have. I ask this one single question. If I'm really pissed off or concerned about something, do I have the power to change that? And if I don't, one person have the power to change that, then why am I allowing my time that I could be doing something else, like smiling or, petting a dog or watching nature or doing something good for my body? Why am I choosing to sit and watch and yell and talk? See the sirens, perfect timing. Why am I doing that? I'll never get that time back. So sorry, I had to get on the soapbox, had to drop my moose, because I'm your happy 88 advocate personal assistant. I want you to be happy 88% of the time. And right now, use your choice, the most powerful tool you have. What are you focused on? Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know that there are some people who chose not to vote, and it has disappointed people when they were like, how could you not vote? By not voting, that was a vote. And people don't want to deal with those people anymore because they're like, you failed me. And it's hard to say, okay, you want to call yourself a friend, but essentially you have let me down. And when you look at your friends, you can classify them. You have close friends, lifelong friends, work friends, convenient friends. You have flaky friends, acquaintances, and casual friends. And when you want to stratify how you interact with people, you can decide where you want to put people and categorize them. And everybody isn't your best friend. And you can't hold people to a standard that a best friend is when they are an acquaintance. And if they are a person in passing, they're just that. And I'm going to give you an example. If someone is a Facebook friend and they post a picture and they're like, how do I look? And they just chopped their hair off and they looked nice and young with their hair long. And now they look 20 years older with their hair short. Do you have the right to post and be like, oh, you look absolutely terrible? No, it is your opinion. And you don't have the right to be like, oh, you look horrid. You keep your nice little ugly opinion to yourself because it is just that, an opinion. And while they posted it on social media asking for an opinion, you are not a close friend. You are an acquaintance, a social media acquaintance. And you have to remember to stay in your lane, know your role, and do that. Same thing when it comes to politics. Everyone is entitled to their political opinion. And while it is different from yours, we have to respect that. And we don't have to berate other people for their political opinion. And we can let them have their opinion and we can keep ours and we can stay in our lane for the next 4 years. That is what truly makes America what it is. I was in the military for that purpose, to give everyone that right. We will get through this and everything changes every 4 years, whether it swings right, whether it swings left. It is okay. You notice that no one stormed the Capitol. There was a change of power. The president and the president-elect have met this morning. They shook hands, and it's going to be a peaceful change of power, unlike we had last time. So we will get through this, people. We can remember our humanity, we can remember our kindness, and we can remember our friendships. And whether you want it to be a close friendship or an aloof friendship is completely up to you, and it will be okay.
Absolutely. Well said. Before you open your mouth, I learned this from Dr. David Simon. I love it. At his living memorial, just a few weeks before he died. And he said, and I will never forget this, and I live his legacy out through these words. Ask yourself 3 questions before you open your mouth. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? If not, keep your mouth shut or keep your front door shut. So that is absolutely backing up what Dr. Tiffanie is saying. I like the categories. I don't think that any of us, because it takes time to cultivate a friendship, that I call it my palm. I have 5 people in my life that are extremely close to me. They know who I am. They love me in spite of myself, my 88% fabulous, my 12% not so great. They are my palm. They hold me up when I don't feel like holding myself up, or I'm in my 12% where I'm not feeling the best that I can feel. So that is all the energy I have, because that takes some, time and an investment of that. And to have try and to try to be everybody's friend, that is a surefire way of exhausting yourself. So that is, I would say, for friendship, I call it, should you have a confrontation with someone, Dr. Tiffanie mentioned earlier, if it's someone that's a Facebook friend or, someone who really doesn't matter in the whole scheme of things, you don't need to have a confrontation. If you are going to see them at work every day, if you are going to see them during the holidays, before the holidays, why don't you have a loving confrontation? I know that we disagree on what happened in the election, and I know that I love you. I have loved you for many more years than the conflict that we've been experiencing lately. My job is to get us back to agree to disagree. And I think for everybody's sake, especially ours, I miss the parts of us that agreed. And so Operation Agree to Disagree is what I am advocating for this holiday time for us this year. So I hope you take me up on it.
Mm-hmm. And we have some information in the cashew gallery. We have some action. Mm-hmm.
I love, you can't hold an acquaintance to close friend standards. That's very, very, very good. They agree with you.
Absolutely.
Dr. Tiffanie, for sure. How are we doing on time?
We're doing well, 9:52. And then remember, if it turns into toxicity, because right now we are going to have some people who are going to feel emboldened to have some toxicity unleash itself. So if you have some people who want to unleash some of that toxicity on you, and they want to be disrespectful, and they don't want to respect your boundaries, and they want to be negative, and they want to be critical, and they want to be racist, and they don't want to be supportive, and they don't want to be empathetic, and they want to have an imbalance in the relationship, and they want to be manipulative, or they want to exploit conflicts and different things, and they want to be gossipers. It's okay to cut those ties. You don't have to do anything that's going to disrupt your peace. Your peace is important beyond any relationship because you have to protect yourself. And it's okay to walk away if you are feeling abused in any type of platonic friendship, because if they are abusing you, they are not your friend.
That's why I put this up, talk to the hand. And I had a friend say to me once when I was entering the danger zone and going to visit some people that had the capacity to hurt me, she said, just visualize that you have flowers all around you so that when they pick at you, they're just picking out a flower. And what a beautiful way to envision, that we have the choice and the ability to respond kindly no matter what. That some people we may need to love from afar temporarily. My big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith, he is much better at loving people no matter what. So sometimes I say, love through me like Big Brother until I can love that way myself. Because, I'm human too. And 88% of the time, I can be very loving. 12% of the time, get out of my face. And it gives me time to remember who I really am, that I am love, that I can respond in love no matter what. Love and acceptance does not mean approval. Love and acceptance means that I value and respect your, person, you're human. Let's all be kind. And you're just not in your 88% right now. And until you are, I'm going to remove myself so that I'm not in the splatter zone of something that can hurt me. But I know that you're going to find that part of you, that balance-centered part of you, and you're going to be the loving person that you truly are at another time. So the whole, full on unfriending, like you're dead to me, I also think that that's going to hurt us this holiday. So let's just say temporarily, maybe this holiday will be too difficult if we can't agree to disagree, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be this way.
Mm-hmm. And when we were children, I was taught sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. That's not true as an adult. Toxic words can decrease your self-esteem, affect your mental status, increase stress, and all of that can lead to prolonged physical ailments and emotional exhaustion, isolation, and problems with conflict. So I think it's important for us to watch our words and to remember to try to stay calm and avoid being involved in toxic relationships.
Yeah, it's balance. It's balance. I think that some people run too quickly or dismiss too quickly, or some people stay too long. So you know yourself, find your balance. This too shall pass. When to hold, when to fold. Don't poke the animal. These are all tools, Happy 88 tools that you can use so that your holiday season is the best possible season of joy ever. Final word, Dr. Tiffanie.
So my final word is this. We do not get to pick our families, but we do get to pick our friends. So please pick wisely.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tiffanie. This has been a fabulous Wednesday installment of Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Hopefully you've gotten something that warms your heart and challenges your mind to take responsibility for your own reactions. That's my final word. What you think of me is none of my business, and you cannot make me angry. I can choose to react angrily to you, but when I'm knowing who I am, can't touch this. That's it for today. It's all about balance. Peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. Thanks for joining us. Now go and have the best day ever. We'll see you tomorrow.